Welcome to the Kenyon Long Podcast. I am your host, Kenyon Long here. Do like your mama does and your cousin does too. Hit that subscribe button and watch the videos to the end, man. We got all kinds of segments during the show. But of course, if you're too busy, you're so damn busy, make sure you comment as well. But you know what? Take some time during the week. Check out all the videos that I'm dropping, man. But shouts out to all the YouTube short squad out there doing their thing, baby. Look, man, it's NBA playoffs, man. And everybody got a Duke player on their team. So you already know what it is, man. And speaking of Duke, one of the greatest Duke players that was only there for a hot second under that moniker, my man Kyrie. Stephen A. Smith gets G-checked by Kenny Smith when it came to Kyrie. And Stephen A. Smith had to turn around and apologize. Now, I saw that Kenny Smith, I saw this on Inside the NBA on TNT. I saw that Kenny Smith said this when I watched that game the other day, but I did not know. And Stephen A. Smith said, Kyrie, I apologize. Let's check it out, baby.
Because it involves Kenny Smith and Kyrie Irving. Kenny the Jet Smith for TNT, the great Kyrie Irving for the Dallas Mavericks, who may be on the verge of winning his second NBA championship, by the way, which is an incredible story within itself. But anyway,
talk to him.
The topic that I'm about to get into is a bit personal. It involves Kenny, my brother, my boy. Kenny Smith and I go back decades. His brother, Vincent Smith, used to train me. Lost Battalion Hall, Queens, New York, all of that stuff. I got a scholarship, a basketball scholarship because of Vincent Smith. Love him to death. But Kenny Smith and I go back that long. Last night, the TNT crew was discussing the evolution of Kyrie Irving this postseason. Because Kyrie Irving obviously has gone through so much, being accused of anti-Semitism or anti-Semitic remarks just because he retweeted something and stuff like that, getting suspended, having to deal with some of the things he's had to deal with, the whole COVID thing and, not wanting to play, not wanting to take the vaccine and all of this other stuff, ultimately missing an abundance of games. And, obviously things going south in Brooklyn with him, Kevin Durant and James Harden. You look at those situations and you just found yourself saying, damn, this is a bad situation. It's really bad. And Kyrie's name was all over it. And then he lost the sneaker deal and all he had was basketball. But the evolution of Kyrie Irving this postseason has been nothing short of spectacular, and he deserves a lot of credit for it. But that was also what led to Kenny Smith revealing a very private conversation that he had with me about my past critical comments of Kyrie. And I shouldn't say past because at the time we had the conversation, that's when it was going on, and that's when Kenny Smith called me. Here's what he had to say last night on TNT. We couldn't play the sound, but here's the quote. At one time, Stephen A. was an advocate about having a battle with Kyrie Irving. I had to call Stephen. I'm like, this guy's from my neighborhood. I named like 6 people, and I said, Stephen A., those people mentored you. They mentored him. So when you say something about him, you're actually saying it about us. And he said, I understood.
Facts.
If you're a man who makes at least $150,000 a year and you're still embarrassed to take your shirt off at the pool, I will get.
Charles Barkley naturally followed up saying this about Kyrie Irving following Kenny's comments, quote, he self-inflicted himself. Talking about Kyrie. He got to take some responsibility. I think he's grown up. I think he's matured. Stephen A. and other people criticized him. He rightly deserved it. You can't go out there and be anti-Semitic. He deserved the criticism he got. He deserved the suspension he got. But as a basketball player, I think he's really grown up, end quote. Let me say this. Both of them are right. Tackling Charles Barkley first. Kyrie did deserve to be criticized at the time that he was being criticized. And it's our job to tell a story. And that's what I did. When it was happening, I spoke about what was happening. So Charles Barkley's right about that.
Okay.
But nobody's more right than my brother Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith did call me. And when Kenny Smith called me,
G-check.
He spoke to me And he reminded me of guys. He mentioned 6 guys. I'll give you 3 of their names. One was Rod Strickland, former NBA player, spectacular point guard out of DePaul University and stuff like that. Rod Strickland is the godfather to Kyrie Irving. Another person was Gary Howard, Gary D. Howard to be exact, former deputy sports editor at the Philadelphia Inquirer, who was responsible for getting me there. When I was a high school reporter for the New York Daily News, he was the one responsible for getting me the college job at the Philadelphia Inquirer. He's also the former executive sports editor for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. At the time that Gary Howard was the executive sports editor there were 4 and ultimately reduced to 2 executive sports editors in the country, despite there existing hundreds of newspapers. Only about 2 were black. Gary Howard was one of them. He's a Bronx native. He's very, very close to Dedrick Irving, Kyrie's father. They grew up together, knows him well. Gary Howard is also a friend and a mentor of mine. The other dude was Reggie Howard that Kenny Smith was alluding to. Reggie Howard is Gary's brother. Coaches a lot of youth in the Bronx, very respected, street dude, very connected, the whole bit. And all of them talked to me. And they weren't disagreeing with what I was saying, but they were addressing the fervor with which I talked about Kyrie. And I really didn't see it that way. I felt like I had looked out for Kyrie Irving on many, many occasions until I couldn't. And then I felt that his attitude towards me had changed and it felt like betrayal. I let that go, but then when his father, I felt, came at me the wrong way, I reacted like I react. I ain't backing up. And it wasn't until Kenny Smith placed that call to me,
G-check,
that I had to look at myself differently. Because he reminded me of those numerous people that raised Kyrie. They also influenced me. And when I talked about Kyrie in the fashion that I talked about him, it wasn't just a reflection on him, it was a reflection on them. And when I looked at it that way, it gave me cause to pause. And then I remembered having an argument on First Take on ESPN with Jay Williams. And Jay Williams wasn't even attacking what I said. He was attacking the energy and how I said it. And I thought about that. And I said, damn, he's got a point. And then I ran into Kyrie. And we were at the Crypto.com arena. And Kyrie came up behind me, touched me on the back, and said, yo, bro, at this point, it ain't even about us. It's about you and my dad and the way y'all been going at each other. And y'all got me caught in the middle of it. And when he said that to me, it hit home. I picked up the phone, live from the Crypto.com arena, sitting baseline, and I texted his dad and asked his dad to meet with him.
I thought he about to say call.
And his dad, being the class act that he is,
I ain't got YouTube. I mean, just keep this in there.
agreed to meet with me in New York City a few weeks later. We met, we talked. Both of us apologized to each other for how we construed how one was coming at the other, et cetera, and we've been cool ever since. And when Kenny Smith brought that story up yesterday, it reminded me of the role that I play, the responsibility that I have. And I'm not one that usually gives a shit what anybody thinks.
Okay.
I stand on what I stand on. I feel the way that I feel.
Stand on business.
Because I pride myself in being man enough to acknowledge when I'm wrong if I think I'm wrong, because I think it's rare.
What?
But I was wrong. And for Kenny Smith to tell me that, it hit home in a big way, because we go back more than 30 years, and I can count on 2 fingers how many times he's thought I was wrong. And so his friendship, his brotherhood means a lot to me, but it also reminded me of the brotherhood of all of those that mentored and have been there for Kyrie.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, good. We got it, nigga. We got it. All right. So Stephen A got G-checked, all right, by Kenny Smith. He got G-checked by Kyrie's dad. You know what I mean? And look, man, screaming A. Smith, as some people say. Once again, I have no issues with Stephen A. Smith. I have no issue with Stephen A. Smith. But, I know a lot of you guys hate Stephen A. Smith. But look, it is true, though, man. Stephen A., you need to take that ego out, bro. You can have some accomplishments. I've been on covering the NBA basketball for 30 years. This nigga says this every week. Every week. Well, I've been covering basketball for 30 years. Okay, nigga, we get it. But just because you covered basketball 30 years don't mean you can't be wrong. Like, damn, nigga, this is why you ain't got no chick. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't be wrong, you know these black women ain't gonna put up with that. All right? So, Stephen A. Screaming A. Smith, man, hold your head. You got G-check, man. You know what I mean? You got to look out for you was about Stephen A. Kenny Smith's brother helped you on your game. You go down to my beloved sister city, Winston-Salem. Shouts out to the Trey Fout. All right? He helped you get a scholarship at Winston-Salem State for him teaching you the handles, the God handles of gods from New York. All right? You know what I mean? Respect that, man. Take that bass out your voice, what he said. You talking about my boy Kyrie. All right, take that bass out. All right, I get it. Now, you got this whole Bronny thing. You ain't scared. You scared to talk about Bronny. You all over the place without Bronny. But when it's your boys that held you down with your garbage ass handles, and they taught you some stuff, man, you already know what it is. It's G stuff, man. Check yourself, man. Quit talking about Kyrie. You know what I mean? It's the prodigy of y'all crew. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with you? Take that bass out your voice, boy. But you scared to talk about Bronny, but you have all that in your chest about Kyrie. All of it. Take that chest down. Cave that chest in. All right, that's what Kenny Smith said. You talking about him, you talking about us. It's the neighborhood. What's wrong with you, boy? All right, so shouts out to Stephen A., man. You know what happens, man. This is what you got to deal with, man. This is what you got to deal with. Like, look, I haven't ran into anybody I've talked about in L.A., but if I'm wrong about something, I'll be wrong. All right, but I saw Bronny with my own two eyes. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna speak about it and other stuff that I see on TV. You're watching the games, or I go to the games. I'm gonna speak about what I know, what I hear. You know what I mean? Drew League, what's up? You know what I mean? I'll pull up to the Drew League. Stephen A., bring your ass to the Drew League. All right, but take that bass out your voice when you're talking about Kyrie. Speaking of Bronny James and Mr. Captain Obvious news, Bronny James is keeping his name in the NBA draft. Like, who thought that he was leaving? Who thought that he wasn't? Look, I'm a multi-millionaire. All right, as a kid already. I'm coming to the NBA. Y'all gonna draft me. All right, so look, let's just stop all the shenanigans. Let's stop all this. I'm going. It ain't I don't know why he mentioned like, oh, I'm not gonna get an agent. I'm not going to go back. I can still go back to the school. You ain't going to no damn transfer portal. All right, I'm pulling up. Somebody gonna draft me, and I ain't going to the G League. All right, so guess what? I'll be on the bench. I'll get my 2 minutes a game, and I'm going to help the economy because my daddy coming. All right, stunting like my daddy. So apparently, Rich Paul has said that Bronny James is keeping his name in the hat to be selected number 53rd, 54th, or 55th. So what y'all think about that, man? You already know, man. We already talked about this. You got to stimulate the economy. You got to stimulate it. So apparently, Bronny turned down a lot of trainings, walkthroughs for other teams, and he's only taking it from the Lakers and the Suns. I wonder whose idea was that. Now, Bronny, I don't know the current temperature right now in Phoenix, but it's 1,000 degrees and hot as hell. I'm just letting you know right now. Down in the South, we just say hot as a scarlet. I don't know what that means, but that's how hot it is. Like, Phoenix is the original place of the dashboard cookies. Like, they created. Like, I ain't ever seen that shit. Like you put the cookies that right on the dashboard, and in 2 hours they already cooked. Not even in the oven, really an hour in Phoenix. They was baking, they was whipping up eggs like Jeezy and 04. Whipping them eggs on that concrete. Like, damn. Might as well go ahead and start selling them eggs for BMF. So hot in damn Phoenix. So apparently they're trying to make an ultra team once again. I don't care. As a Laker fan, I don't care. Trade LeBron. Go ahead. Go ahead. Trade LeBron. Trade him. Trade LeBron. Trade LeBron. I do not care. All right. It's done. It's a wrap. It's definitely a wrap. Bronny James. So hopefully the Phoenix Suns can select him. We don't want Bradley Beal. All right, I'm cool. I'm cool, Bradley Beal. No, you're broken. KD gonna stay there. Devin Booker. Give me D Book. That's who I do want. Give me Devin Booker. I will take Devin Booker, and I will also take a pick or two. And you can have LeBron James and Bronny. LeBron James Jr., right? Yes, in case y'all didn't know. Let me know what y'all think that Bronny should go to, who should draft him. Let me know. But we already know, Laker Nation, we ready to move on. It's time for the percolator. It's time to move on, man. Your boy, Anthony Edwards, predicts a Game 6, a guarantee Game 6.
So somebody in the hallway you're seeing for Game 6. Where does that confidence come from?
What am I supposed to say? I'm supposed to say we're going to lose Game 5? No, I'm not going to never say that. Michael Parsons, he was rocking the AE1s, and I told him he wears size 14. I'll bring back some nice shoes for Game 6. That's what I told him.
So somebody in the hallway you're seeing for Game 6. Where does that confidence come from?
What am I supposed to say? I'm supposed to say we're going to lose Game 5? No, I'm not going to never say that. Michael Parsons, he was rocking the AE1s, and I told him he wears size 14. I'll bring back some nice shoes for Game 6. That's what I told him.
Yeah. You didn't have to tell him anything, Anthony Edwards. I'm going to be honest with you. You don't put your name out there. You don't put your name on it trying to do a guarantee. We all know that. Unless your name is Joe Namath. Oh, Susie, you're so, I just want to kiss you in the mouth. That was wild, man. I need to bring that video up. Joe Namath out there. He was trying to get some tongue from Susie Colbert live on Monday Night Football. But unless you're Joe Namath that can back it up, Anthony Davis, you don't need Anthony Edwards. We already know Anthony Davis can't back it up. You don't need to say nothing, bruh. All right? Y'all being like Chris Brown, and you're going back to the crib, and you still gonna get that fade. Now, if you won at the crib, when you go back, maybe you could say something. But other than that, I'm shut the fuck up. Shut up, nigga. We don't know who's in the locker room is superstitious. All right, so shut up. My team is down. I'm not gonna say that we're gonna lose in the locker room. But let's keep it real, man. Some of the Minnesota Timberwolves right now, they already got the Tulum trip booked. Let's be honest with you, fam. Y'all already got it booked. You already hit Expedia. You know what I mean? Booking.com. Booking.yeah. So I'm just letting you know right now. We know. Come on, we know. Now, if you win too, then we can start talking again. But I just shut up. I was like, dude, I'm playing somebody in Madden. I started talking trash in the third quarter. I'm up 3 touchdowns. I could talk a little bit, right? But then old boy scores a touchdown. And then he scores another. Like, oh, okay. And maybe I get a field goal. Like, oh, game over. No, it's not. No, actually, the game is not over. The game is actually not over. So let me know what you think. Should Anthony Edwards have, we already know what the cat does. Should Anthony Edwards have even said that? Shut your mouth, man. If you get jammed up, don't mention my name. But I can mention my name right now. It's Kenyon Long, actor extraordinaire, hip-hop bar giver. And, of course, man, over at the Kenyon Long Podcast channel, you can hit the subscribe button here. And you can drop your comments, man. And of course, we have some episodes on audio as well. We have a lot of back audio you can check out, man. And hear the evolution of this institution. Also, my other channel, the Kenyon Long channel, is my entertainment sketch channel. Check that out, man. Just dropped a new skit today. When Terrence Howard goes to your drive-thru, man. Hey, man, going over to the Kenyon Long channel, man. So make sure you do that, man. I appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button. But you already know, man, that one link gets you everywhere, man. Hit that link tree. Follow me, man. Follow me. Moving on. Paul Pierce says, wait a minute. Kyrie and Luka ain't the best duo ever.
Come on, Skip. Hey. Me and Ray Allen have something to say about that.
Oh, that's where you're going to go.
We might have something to say about that as far as clutch duel. I mean...
You know what? That's a fair point.
I'm just saying, we talk about clutch duel.
Yeah.
We might have something to say about that.
Okay.
But, I mean, they got Curry, Clay, Curry, Durant, LeBron, Kyrie.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good... And then Jordan and the Towel Boy. Anybody with Jordan.
Jordan and the Towel Boy.
That, man. I mean, anybody with Jordan. You know, Jordan Scotty, Jordan and the Popcorn Man, Jordan and the Towel Boy. I mean, Jordan is like, come on, the ultimate clutch man. So, I mean, I think we got to wait until this run is over. Let's see what happens. Let's see if they can put together a championship together, and then we'll, rediscuss this and where they rank as clutch duel. I mean, Kyrie clearly has some big moments in the finals. Let's see if Luka can have some big moments in the finals. They will be in the finals. And if he can duplicate what he did in this series in the finals, it's going to be hard to argue against this, Skip.
No.
Paul Pierce, once again, LA Zone saying, the most clutch duo was him and Ray Allen over Luka and Kyrie. Now, these have been some good. These playoffs have been some good. I feel like an old grandpa. Like, these some good. These games been good. These games been good. These been good NBA playoff games. So, but Luka, man, I don't get it, man. I don't get it, man. This is the fat kid in middle school, y'all. The fat, chubby boy in middle school. It's like I can't, I just don't know what I'm looking at. The fat, chubby boy with no swag. And I never saw it in middle school. I never saw it on the high school team. I never saw it at my college. In college, there's no fat, chubby boy on the men's basketball team. Not happening. Now, the women's team. So, Paul Pierce, of course, man. I don't know why they were trying to shit on Paul Pierce, his legend. But he's, come on, y'all. Paul Pierce is a legend, all right? Despite what people do after they get out the game, whatever, Paul Pierce is a legend, man. He was definitely a baller. Him and Ray Allen, right? Ray Allen, three-point god as well. But, it's just up for debate, man. You guys let me know who's your favorite duo. Of course, I'm going to, Mike and Scotty are great. Steph and Clay, I guess they the best, but that's more of like backcourt. This is about clutch duo. So let me know, man. Paul Pierce, he said Michael Jordan and the Towel Boy. Maybe that we should ask that. You know what I mean? Could Michael Jordan win today? All right, these playoffs this season right now with a Towel Boy? Let me know, man. Any Towel Boys out there? Towel Boys usually decent in basketball. They just can't make the team. You know what I mean? And I didn't make the team in high school. I tried out and I didn't make it. And I'm like, you know what? I ain't being no damn equipment manager. Fuck that. Let me go back to track. You know what I mean? I ain't sitting here squeezing no Gatorade in your mouth, nigga. All right? No Diddy. F Diddy. Okay? I ain't doing it. So I'll just go to the games looking for the girls and stuff, but I ain't holding no bottle to your mouth, nigga. I ain't squeezing that. You know what I mean? For real. For real. I ain't doing it. Right? I'm an athlete. I got a decent spot on my track team. It's been a couple of years. It was my track team. So I'm decent. I go to the States. I just wanted to do basketball because I thought I could be like Mike. Thought he was me, man. Sometimes I dream, man. But guess what? You don't need to dream. You don't need to dream right now, man, because we got more episodes right now, man. Check out some of the videos from some of the sketches. Check out some of the videos, man, that we have of all the content here at the Kenyon Long Podcast, man. Make sure you comment below, fam. Make sure you do that, man. We appreciate that, man. I've been seeing those comments. I'm replying to all the comments, man. And of course, man, you can email your takes to longmediastudios@gmail.com. 1 minute video. Make sure you do that, man. We'll put it on the podcast like my man Denny Hamlin last episode, man. So check out these episodes right now, and I'll see you in there.